Well, hello and welcome again to Ignite with Sandy. I hope you remember what that is, right? This is a program from the Celestia platform where I interview interesting ladies from all over the world and they share their experiences and so much more. And why do I do that? To ignite the neurons in your brain so that you can get up and do something with your life, maybe do something different, maybe just follow your path, follow your passion, whatever it is. Because I bring together some very interesting personalities. And I said from all over the world. So today, I'm going to be focusing on Dubai. And I have a very interesting lady that I met a number of years ago. And at that time, she struck me as this really energetic person. And just looking at her and observing her, I was getting tired. And I thought my level of energy was high. But then over the years, I followed her career. And I've noticed that there are now so many different titles and qualifications and certifications that she's got that there's like 2, 3 lines after her name on LinkedIn. And I thought to myself, I have to reconnect and I have to bring her back on my show. And so I am going to be introducing a lovely lady. But you know what? I don't ever introduce them. I always get them to introduce themselves, right? And so I would love to have Mona on screen with us now. Mona is my guest for today, and I like to call her a work in progress because she is always up to something new. And so, welcome Mona to Ignite with Sandy on the Celestia platform. And please introduce yourself, and we'll pick up from there. So tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you, Sandy, for having me. I appreciate your time and hosting me. First of all, my name is MENA AlHebsi, and as I love your introduction, it was very short and sweet, but it told, I'm sure it told the audience so much about me. So I'm an Emirati national, and I do a lot of things. I'm a mother of an amazing boy. His name is Khaled. He's my world. And beside that, what I do is I used to be a hotelier. I used to work in luxury hospitality for most of my
Okay.
career, and I was in HR. Doing HR, doing coaching, doing youth, coaching and all that. But then after
Okay.
that, I moved on to different sphere to do a lot of other stuff after having my kid. So I ventured into content creation, continued with coaching and mentoring. I've started also talking about thought leadership, about business related matters that really mattered to me and that I observed over the years with my work in the corporate world. And I wanted people to reach my voice, to reach other people. So I'm doing these things these days.
All right. So, Mona, I believe you were one of the very first Emirati ladies who ventured into the hospitality industry. So, in a few sentences, can you tell us what was your experience in that? Because I know that you rose to be the director of HR, I think, and in a five-star hotel, which is on the Palm, right?
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Okay. So what was
So
that journey like, and why did you decide to go into the hospitality industry?
Well, so this is really an interesting story because it goes back to 2004, 2003, 2004. This was my college years when I was really a student, and I was actually exploring the opportunities in the market just to consider, okay, what can I choose as a career path? And the opportunity happened that I actually a new hotel opened in my city. I'm back from Ras Al Khaimah actually originally,
Okay.
so a new Hilton opened back there, you know. So the college encouraged us to actually go and do stuff that just don't. They told us that don't go to government, don't go to banks, just do something different, you know. So the opportunity was there, and I was like really fascinated by this new hotel. Okay, let me go and try what kind of work I can have there. But then actually when I went, wow, I was like really wowed because it was my very first experience inside a hotel. And like most of the people who never been like really into hotels so much, I the whole image was okay, a reception and maybe F&B outlet, and that's it. But then no, like I they took me to the HR, the laundry, the housekeeping, and then to the kitchen, to the pastry, to the reservation. It was like wow, like there's so many things that we don't know about. And I said, halas, this is gonna be my career, you know. And then after that, after I graduated, after my doing my work experience with Hilton, I was so lucky to actually move to Dubai and get my first job with Burj Al Arab.
Okay.
And it was like the entry to this glamorous world that I actually started exploring a lot of things, learning more about myself, even taking my standards higher because I worked in such luxury brands like Burj Al Arab, like, Gargant Hyatt, like these kind of
Yes.
big names, you know. So I also wanted to really attract other Emiratis and tell them, look, there's so much opportunities here and we don't know anything about it. So
Yes.
a lot of my career involved working with Emiratis, you know, bringing their families actually into the interview, showing them around to that. This we just shatter those, rigid mindsets or like perceptions that people have about ladies working
Yes.
in hospitality. Yeah.
Okay. So, I believe when you work in a hotel, you have very long hours. So, was
Yeah.
that something that you had to deal with, long hours in the hotel and being away from home? How did that work? How were you able to, for example, convince your family that, this is my job and I need to be there more than sometimes necessary. So, how did you manage that?
Well, that I mean, the convincing part. This we can do another webinar just talking about that, the whole story. But like, I mean, just to cut the long story short, I mean, the convincing obviously took time, and I would really say that in the first few months of my working, they were not happy, but I just decided to just make it happen, and I actually wanted through my working and determination and achievements to show them that actually I can do it. So I think within the first 3 or 6 months, I got my story published in the company newsletter, and I just took that newsletter and showed it to my mother and father, where they were so happy. And from that day, like, the whole story changed, and they believe that I can do it. But of course, about the long hours, about I didn't have this kind of expectation. I didn't know what to expect actually, because it's a new sector, it's a new job, actually new career, new first time for me working. So imagine, Sandy, I used to like work, like, I was too very tired, and then the weekend I used to sleep the whole day. Like, I initially, because I think my body was so shocked.
Exhausted.
My body was so shocked. So it took me a
Yeah.
couple of, like, I don't know, weeks, or I don't know, few months, like maybe 1 or 2 months at least, so that my body get adjust to that long hours, the extreme
Okay.
work demands and all that, and then, like, halas, I just got used to
Okay.
it.
So then, when did you get married? When you still working in the
Yeah,
hotel?
for me, I think that was what advantage. And good you asked me this question. I mean, the advantage that I had at that point, that I was not married, so I could, like, spend most of my time there. But then, toward the end, actually around end of 2018, I got married, and it was almost the very, like, after over 15 years of working. And by that time, I just reached, very different heights in my career and achieved so many things. So I think that was the right time. And after that, a new story started. Yeah.
Yeah. So when baby came along, were you still working, or had you decided to, take a back seat and, be home and sort of look after yourself and your husband? Was there a change in your career, or were you still with the hotel industry?
Yeah, I mean, this is the coming of my baby. My first baby was the catalyst in my life. So it's like after working for 15 years and doing everything that I did, I just and because actually he was also unhealthy. So for me, I decided to take this call and just stay at home, because as a mother, I mean, my child is priority. And I felt like I've done a lot of things. And at that point it was very uncertain moment, uncertain time in my life, because I would have to, I mean, I'm telling you the kind of mental dialogue that was going inside me at that point when I was
Yes,
taking the decision. So it's like, okay, so do I sacrifice the, all this work and hard work and what have done, or do I just leave my baby like with someone, like which one sound, I mean,
hmm.
the right thing to do. So then I just went without even thinking about it. I mean, I felt obviously a little bit confused and sad about, having just to leave my career. But I think with time, a lot of other doors opened to me in front of
Yes,
me, because the whole point was, I think it's a matter that a lot of ladies, a lot of women go through after working women. I mean,
yes,
after getting married or having kids. And I think the thing that will work at these kind of moments is just the faith, and just following your heart, because no matter what decision you will decide, if you follow your heart, it will be the right decision, and the time will
quite
tell you
true.
this. Yeah.
Yes, yes. A lot of women sometimes battle with that, like, should I follow from here? Should I follow from there? What's important? They start getting a little practical. And sometimes you hear people say, well, don't get emotional, you have to look at it from a practical perspective. But I think being a mother, being a career woman, and being, of course, a woman at the end of the day, it takes a lot about the practicality and the emotional side to bring a balance. And I think that's
That's
what
true.
you were able to achieve. So, Mona, when we fast forward, and I believe you decided to uh, go back into the workforce and all of that. So, can you share with us what happened at that particular time when you started looking for a position, applying, etc.? What was that journey of yours? Could you share that with us?
Yeah, sure. That was actually, I think, this is my new story. Like, once I had my child, and the decision that I've made. So that was one thing. But then all the mental and emotional, and the guilt, and the eating myself from inside. Okay, was like, okay, oh my God, like, should I go back? Should I not go back? So all this, just thinking about it, reflecting. But I mean, it was not all negative, because actually I realized, actually, during this process, that actually I worked for so long, and I never had a genuine break where I can sit and reflect and know myself better, or let's say realign my goals in life, or know whether I'm actually heading in the right direction. It was just,
Hmm.
like they say, the treadmill in the corporate world. So, right, I was achieving, I was doing.
Mona, just a minute. Is there some background now noise where you're sitting?
I have people around me. So,
Yeah, could you ask them not to talk because it's coming on a recording?
okay, I mean, they're away,
Yeah.
they're on the phone. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, please do continue. Sorry, I just interrupted that. Please do
Yeah.
continue.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So, it's because I'm sitting in the public area, so it's like,
Okay.
that's why maybe it's like. Okay, so basically, but then after all this, I realized that it was maybe the beginning of my spiritual journey as well, because
Okay.
once you are not like within yourself, like, not having a lot of people around you, you have that time to reflect, to get into some difficulties, deal with the issues inside you, because honestly I never got that chance to sit with myself and to think about things or reflect over
Okay.
things. And that was really, I would say, difficult in the beginning and painful, I would even describe it. But then after that, with time, it's showing me that it was really the right thing that should happen, like, and based on what I faced, all my fears, all my doubts, all my, I don't even know if I call it traumas or whatever. But then it got me into a different place, like where I am today, because I discovered like, okay, in fact, I can only have, let's say, one title. I'm telling you the bright side of what's happening
Okay.
right now in my life. So I can only have one title or do one kind of work, or I can actually have so many titles, do so many work, and just dig inside me and find out the talents, like the
Yes.
different kind of thing that Mona can be, the different hats that Mona can wear. It's not only the hotelier or the HR, the director or whatever. No, there's so many other things that I can be. And for that, you actually, any person can need to sit by him or herself to dig into the treasures inside them. And this is exactly what I've done in the past, I would say 4 years since I had my baby.
Yes, because you shared with me that you had rejection after rejection after rejection, even when you sort of had reached the last
Yeah,
point where you had gone through so many different stages of the interviews, and you were sure that, this would be something that would be offered to you, and yet it never came. So, a lot of women, a lot of people in general, when they face repeated rejection, they start doubting themselves. They start
yeah,
doubting their self-worth, their capabilities, and
true.
because to constantly get a no, it sort of is very demoralizing. And yet you turn that around for yourself,
Yeah,
because I think it showed you like, maybe this was not the path for you, maybe this was not the career for you, and maybe though you had followed this for a long time in your life, it was now time to do something different.
different.
Is that
Yes.
is that is that the message you got?
Yes, exactly. Actually, good you reminded me of that story because I mentioned that I went through a painful time. It was because of this reason. Because when I decided to go back to work again and start applying after being a mother, then I started seeing really the reality. Or let's say I started facing very strange scenarios, which were very demotivating for me because being someone who's very talented, who's very educated, who's very qualified, very experienced. It's kind of, I was kind of, okay, I'll just get a job very easily, but no, it was not the case. I mean, exactly like what you mentioned. I used to get so many interviews, reach the last stage, not being rejected in the first stage, no, reach the last stage, and it happened more than 10, 15, I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about a matter
Wow.
of 2 years, 2 years. Like, you can imagine how many times I got rejected. And that caused the pain, that caused the maybe the confidence to go down, the self morale to go down, all sort of things. But they always say from the pain there is always a gift, that
Yes.
comes. And with time, imagine, Sandy, these kind of rejections used to actually send different messages to me. In the beginning, maybe it was, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or I'm so frustrated, or why they're doing this to me. Or, but with time, I started thinking, okay, so now it's getting funny. But for me, I started actually laughing at those things, and it kind of, okay, so maybe I'm better than this. Maybe I should do something bigger than this, or maybe I was created for something that is, even much much more better.
Excellent.
So
Yes.
so,
It's
so, so
it's
that's
so
the message I
wonderful.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's wonderful that you're sharing that, because a lot of us, male or female, it doesn't matter. With repeated rejections, it's always, making yourself feel less capable,
of
less
course.
of everything. And here you're saying, you're thinking to yourself, maybe the universe is telling me I'm there for bigger things. I'm there to do more. I'm there to
Of
discover
course.
more. I'm there to share more. And
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
that was the turning point for you.
That's the shift, actually. Yes, yes. And they always say that, the deeper the valley, the higher the peak.
Yes.
So I felt, okay, there was, I cannot explain to you the amount of, anger, sadness, disappointments. I went like in a very deep place, a very dark place at some point after the repeated rejections, all this, what was going on in my life. But then, from when I went to the depth of that, things started coming up. And I think then I started seeing things differently. And when you say the shift or things turned around, exactly. And now I'm seeing things totally in a different way. And guess what, Sandy? Like, the moment I started seeing these things differently, um, people, opportunities started coming to me. I have no more to go to them. So it was amazing the kind of people who were connecting with me, because I post regularly. Also, I'm on social media. I write about my thoughts and all that. So people started coming to me. The number of followers increased. People who want to collaborate with me increased. Like wow, like now see my self-image determined what I will get in life, and I mean it's true of everyone.
Okay, so for all the people who are watching now and will be watching in the future, what advice would you give to them when they're facing this very low point in their life, when their self-worth is, really going down, and they're feeling so incompetent, and their self-confidence, their joy in life, everything is just disappearing because of what's happening around them, and you've experienced all of that. So coming out from there, what are some of the things that you could share with people who could be going through something like that?
Sure. I think I have a couple of messages here, which you will see that all like interrelated. So the number thing is like change is inevitable. So you don't expect to remain on a peak forever or remain in a bottom or like down forever. Like it's life is all about up and down. It's exactly like our heart beats, and heart beats like this because it shows we are alive. So if we're alive, we will go up and down, up and down. So that's like a nature of life. Number one. Number two is like just don't give up. Just
Hmm.
don't uh, give yourself the opportunity to experience those feelings, to experience those down moments, because a lot of time those difficult feeling or things that we want to run from, we just tend to want to finish it or run from it, like feelings of sadness, feelings of misery or anger or the dark side of us, the dark side of us. Face your dark side. Don't just turn your face to that, because when you want to turn your face, it will last longer. The spirit will last longer.
Yes, yes,
The
yes, yes.
moment you will decide to be okay, be in the process, face what you like and what you don't like, things will start turning. So just have that courage, be there, don't give it up, and then little by little you start seeing the gifts, and that comes out of that period, because you will never be the same person after facing your dark side and overcoming your things, like your
Okay,
dark
so
areas.
when you overcame all of these challenges, and you won all those emotional battles with yourself, uh, where what did you do next, and how did that move? How did that take you forward?
Honestly, Sandy, like I've started seeing a lot of dreams, and I've started getting honestly a lot of inspirations to do things, or like I used to wake so much in the night. It happened over a period of time. So I think these are the gifts I'm talking about, because usually these gifts will not come in a mostly in physical shape or form. They will come in terms of ideas, in terms of inspirations, in terms of someone who just suddenly come to your life and make the way easy for you. There are so many forms of this, but for me, what I want to tell people is like, just be there, just hold on, like be there, live it, because I think for us the most difficult thing is to live the sad or the bad feeling that you don't want to live. Once we
Yes,
accept and submit to these feelings, things will start turning, so that's what I'm saying. So then
yes.
things will really change for people.
Yeah, so while you were having this battle in yourself about your career and what you would like to do, and then on the other side you had your baby. So how were you balancing that?
That honestly was not easy. Like it's not easy, because imagine a person with a lot of emotional pressure, mental, and I'm talking about maybe spiritual, even awakening or whatever people can call it. But at the same time, child caring responsibilities, and honestly, I was going through other challenges also in life, in terms of family, in terms of my husband also got sick at some point, and I had to also to deal with that thing beside the baby and beside my own issues. So it was not easy, but uh, time just passes. Like if you will just get through anytime.
Yeah.
So I think I
So
got through it. Yeah.
I think one of the things that you must have realized at that stage is, as a woman, how much resilience you have, how much inner strength you have, how emotionally strong you actually are to be handling everything and still be present and still have your time to be creative, to look at those thoughts, to find new things to do. So I think what the message that I'm getting is that all of us have got tremendous potential,
True.
and sometimes when we are put in a position where we are being tested on our patience, on our energy, on our attention, everything, that is the time you truly understand what a powerful person you truly are.
Course, of course, of course. That's very true. Actually, when you started saying this now, I remember one sentence I used to say it internally to myself during that difficult time, and I said it, and then I started saying it because I was angry, actually. So I used to say like, okay, go give me any kind of position in the corporate world, I will do it, but I cannot do this. This is much more difficult what I'm in right now. So it's like I used to compare the intensity or the difficulty of let's say being going at work and dealing with people and doing all those like physically challenging or even mentally challenging kind of decisions, and sitting at home and raising a child and going through my own thing and having all other issues. So I thought like, oh my god, there's no comparison. Actually, this is a much more difficult situation. But the point is once you overcome this, then there's a different thing waiting for you.
Okay, so fast forwarding to where you are today, share with us what you do.
Okay, so basically, during this time, I got like a lot of, I told you, inspirations, opportunities. I met a lot of people, and even like with those rejections that I used to get. So with every rejection, I used to get a certain idea, or that's I decided to initiate a certain kind of. Post or kind of initiative on social media or on my LinkedIn, and I carried on with that. I mean, even doing the posts or creating the videos or whatever the programs that I have now on my YouTube channel. It also requires time. It requires a lot of things. So I'm creating programs. I have my own YouTube channel. I do posting, create content, obviously, generally across the different social media channels. I talk about a lot of business related issues in my own area of specialty, like HR, people management, and Emirati. And plus, I started designing online courses. So
Okay.
now I have my own products, beside the book that I already had before I leave my job. I started having my other products. So for me, and obviously with the coaching going on, I have clients already. So it's so many things now. Like not just one thing. So many things. So for me, like I'm thinking, oh, of course, this is better than what I used to get. So now
Yeah.
I started seeing the benefit
Okay.
of going through that difficult period. So I'm
Yes.
doing all sort
And
of things
you
besides
sort of
my
you
kids.
you let that those challenges actually help you to grow and to create more.
Yeah, to evolve and to create more, and
Yes.
actually to become, for example, you would notice if you follow me or read my posts. I'm particularly writing about those kind of challenges that I faced at some point, and I wanted to help people who are facing the same kind of challenges now from my own experience. Like I'm definitely, I know they will benefit at least something from what I write, because they would not have to go through the whole process again and face the whole thing. No. So this is the gift of it. It's like using my learnings, my lessons to help others who are going currently through the similar kind of journeys in life. So yeah.
So have you written any books?
So for me, of course, like I've written when I was working, I've summed up my hospitality career, and then a book called Beat the Odds, and it's basically considered as a career guidebook for working
Okay.
for working professionals. And I have it actually in Arabic and English. So the target audience for that book would be generally any working professional who want to achieve excellence and success in their professional life, but specifically hoteliers, youth, and let's say women who want to to climb the corporate ladder, and by applying some certain tried and tested techniques that will help her or enable her to basically achieve that same kind of result that I've done in my career.
Okay, so you're basically sharing your knowledge based on a personal experience because
Personal
I think
experience.
experience is your best teacher.
Yeah, and I have tools. I have actually real tools because
Hmm.
I got to those tools by trial and error myself in my own experience. But then I summed them up in the book, and I've just given them the stories and how I get there, and what they need to do to get what kind of tool they need to use. Yeah.
Yes. So, what about these online courses? What do they deal with? And is this open for both male and female, or is your clientele only female?
So honestly, the idea of online course designing online courses came to me honestly in Ramadan, last Ramadan. So I felt it like it's inspiration. I felt the need, and I have now currently 5 courses on different topics of my areas of expertise. So I have 2 courses about Emiratization. One is targeted as employers who hire UE nationals, and the other one is targeted at job seekers. And this is the very exclusive course available online. I mean, there is no other course available online about Emiratization. So I'm the first one who came up with such thing. So it's available in udemy.com. Also, I have other courses about branding, self professional branding, which also follows kind of my book, but in a course like manner. And then I have another course on HR ethics, which is my area of expertise. And the last one I just released like yesterday. It was about branding yourself as a thought leader. And of course, some more coming, but like these are. Um, Not very common in our market, so I just wanted to just release those kind of topics.
Yes, I know. What from what I've been observing in the last 27 years in the UAE is that now I see a lot of female Emirati people who are in different industries. They're not only in the government or they're not only in teaching, which is
Yes,
what they used to be before. The younger generation, your generation, they're stepping out and
yes,
exploring different career options,
yes.
right? And so sometimes it becomes a little challenging because expatriates are not familiar with Emirati culture,
Mm,
and Emirati ladies are not very exposed to an international work culture. So, are
yeah.
you doing any courses on those kind of things?
Currently, I'm collaborating with some. Actually, some ladies have reached me out because they wanted me to collaborate with them on there's certain cultural related workshops and all. So I'm doing some conversations now with some people, some ladies. To co-host a workshops or something, but during my time and when I was working full time, I used to do a lot of cultural, what would they call it? um,
Awareness?
Cultural awareness, thank you. Cultural awareness related trainings. So it was a lot of them on language, on explaining why we do things certain way, trying to help people in my workplace understand the Emirati culture, the symbols, why we do things certain way, what do we eat, and all sort of cultural related. I mean, the dress, the whole kind of cultural component. And I did it in different hotels. Like whenever I used to join a new hotel, I used to start my cultural programs, even
Okay.
around the festivities. Ramadan has its own calendar, and all other Islamic events also has its own calendar. So I used to do before. Currently, not yet, but I'm in talks with other people to do this.
Okay, so if we're looking at, for example, people, women, basically who are in the corporate world right now, right, and they are thinking about making a change. Okay, because many of them I said, okay, I've done it with the corporate world. I don't want this high pressure job. I want to be my own boss. That's quite common, right? I want to run my things my way, whatever. What would your advice be to those kind of women who are stepping out from a very structured environment to something where they're going to most probably manage everything on their own?
I would definitely ask them to have a plan because, I mean, see, things happen in life, and I mean, the way it happened in my life, it was like I had a baby. It's not that I didn't know I will have a baby, but like it, he just happened to be unhealthy, and I had to just make a decision on my toes. But I prefer that people don't wait until life forces them to do something. No, may have a plan. If you are really thinking that your current job is not maybe very fulfilling or meaningful to you anymore, or and you want to do something more, so please have a plan. Try to plan it well. This is better than having a life circumstance that will like require you to just do some kind of major change in your life. I think they always need to talk to a mentor or coach or something to seek some professional help for those kind of decisions, depending on what they would like to do next. Because obviously, if someone would like to write a book, then there's a book coach. If someone would like to open the business, there's a business coach, and so on. So it depending on the goal itself, but also at the same time, as I said in the beginning, you will be the first person, or your heart will be the guide.
Yes.
So just follow your heart. Really, I mean, you'll never regret when you follow your heart.
Quite true, quite true. And so, as we're coming to the end of our fabulous interview, I would like to ask you, Mona, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Do you have a game plan? Are you visualizing anything? What are you doing?
Well, honestly, I don't know where I will be, but I've always been that person who beat the odds, like who just shock people with what I come up with. Because even now at this phase in my life, like all the things I've done, they are new to my peers. They are new to my
Mhm.
community. No one maybe talk as let's say courageously about matters that matter. No one maybe do things in certain ways. So I consider myself the queen of courage. I call myself this actually because I'm someone who just go and do it. Like, and then I think about okay the consequences. But then yeah, so I don't have an answer. I don't know where I would be,
Yeah,
but
I love your honesty. I love the way you're being so open and saying, "Hey, you know what? I don't have all the answers. Yes, I want to do many things, but if
yeah,
you ask me right now, I don't know what it is." And
yes, I don't know.
many of us are in that space in our life, and I think it's perfectly okay to be like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because it's only when you're in that sort of a little more relaxed way mentally, emotionally, that things will actually come to you. You don't have
yeah,
to chase them because we are always taught about going for this, the goal, the path, the this, and we sort of end up like a racehorse with the blinkers on, only looking there. And yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
important. Yeah, I do agree. It's important to focus on something and not be all over the place like many people are. But unless you're open to new ideas, unless you're open to new problems and
Yes, of course.
challenges coming up,
True.
life. That's what life's all about, and that's what's exciting, I think, because if everything is being going to be planned, then there's no fun.
No, no. Especially like we all as humans, we came to this earth for having an experience, for living our human experience. So, I mean, I will tell people just allow yourself to be human and to live all the emotions, to live all the feeling, to live all the feelings, all the emotions, to make all the mistakes you need to make because there are a lot of things that I mean, our societies or like yeah, our backgrounds tell us okay that this is allowed, this is not allowed, which is fine. But I think we will not be able to reach to the depth of life if we will keep on restricting ourselves all the time. So live all the emotions, live all the feelings, whether it's good or it's not so good. Even if it's not so good, you will have benefit from living and going into depth of it and make all the mistakes you need to make. No matter how people think about you or they judge you, because it's your own journey again, and you will only live once. You will not live more than once. So just smash it.
I agree 100% because we don't know when life will throw us a challenge,
True.
right? We may be
Yeah.
thinking, oh, our life's so well planned, nothing could ever go wrong. We're just going to be on our path going forward, forward, forward. But that's not what life is, right?
True.
And I think the earlier we realize that, the better for us,
Of course. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
as you leave us today, Mona, give me three pointers that we can make use of starting now.
Can you say again?
I said just 3 points, three pieces of advice to everybody watching. Can we start doing right now to make a
I think
change, to bring about something exciting in our life?
I would say trust the process,
Okay.
and believe in yourself, and just go do it.
Yeah, best. I think that's the best way. Just do it, right? On that happy note of just doing it straight away. Thank you very much, Mona, for joining us today on the Celestia platform. And it's been absolutely wonderful and meeting up after such a long time. I'm so happy that, and I feel quite privileged that you shared your experiences, your challenges, your journey forward. And on behalf of Celeste and everybody watching, all the best. It's lovely to know that you have a lot of energy, a lot of creativity, a lot of positive thinking, because that's what we all need. So thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you,
God bless.
Sandy. Yeah. Good night.
So, everybody, this is me, Sandy, signing off from Ignite with Sandy and our fabulous platform, Celestia. Please remember to watch our video and videos on our Celestia YouTube channel, to like us on Facebook, and to like us on Instagram. We are on all social media handles, and we'd love to interact with you. We'd like to know more about you. And if you would like to be on our show, please do drop us a line on Instagram, and we will get in touch with you. So, as I conclude today, what I've learned is this, that when challenges come, don't think about it as something insurmountable. They are there to teach us something. They are there for us to actually stop and take a look at ourselves to see, what are we doing? Are we really doing what we're supposed to do? And in my case, as in Mona's case, when those challenges came, we met them. We met them head on. But we also looked at the lessons that they were teaching us. And when we look at that, you will find so many answers. But remember this, the answers are all inside you. So take that journey into yourself, see what's there, and you will find an amazing, competent, intelligent, capable, clever person sitting there. On that happy note, bye for now. Till next week.